Whoa, wait, before we get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Aisha and this is the DIY Sleeping Quarters channel. If you are new here, please go ahead and subscribe. This video will be the top things to do, eat, and see in New Orleans. All right, let's get started. So, New Orleans is a very interesting place. If you do not know, it was built below sea level. I believe it was built on a swamp or some sort. Anyway, for some odd reason, I decided to have my birthday in this weird town filled with voodoo, vampires, witchcraft, card readings, alcohol, and jazz music. Call me crazy, but fairly interesting place to have your 29th birthday party. I would recommend going to Bourbon Street as your first stop here in New Orleans. Try to go during the daytime as well as nighttime. You'll see all types of crazy things going on. Be sure to stand on a balcony and throw beads at somebody. There was hip-hop music, jazz music, R&B, pop, country, hillbilly. I mean, you name it, they had it on Bourbon and the side streets of Bourbon. So, be sure to stop on Bourbon Street as your first stop and thing to do in NOLA. I had a blast, and I'm no drinker. Along with clubs and bars, they also had shopping as well as restaurants located on Bourbon Street. Another thing that I did was visit the Whitney Plantation. Now, this plantation is very unique as it told the stories of slaves or slavery through the eyes of children slaves. And it's like no other in the US of A. I would definitely recommend this tour. This one is the best tour they have in New Orleans, and you still get to pass some of the other major plantations on your way to this tour. So definitely do the Whitney Plantation tour. We also did an Airbnb experience where we met one of the former Trim Kings, King Hollis, and he basically gave us a tour of his old neighborhood and talked about gentrification as well as the social aid and pleasure clubs of the African American community and the difference between costumes and culture costumes in the African American community. Another thing we did was a swamp tour, and we found this on Groupon. I would recommend this even if you are going in January like we did. We were still able to see 2 alligators and learn about the state tree as well as other plants and wildlife in the swamp. We also had a very funny tour guide.
I want y'all to fight to the death. Whoever loses, I get half the life insurance policy.
Well, I have the bigger life insurance policy.
All right, well, make sure she does. I'm picking on you. Don't kill her.
Yeah, baby. We're in New Orleans.
So here's some other things that you can do in New Orleans that we were not able to do. The first thing is a voodoo tour, cemetery tour, and card readings. Those are things that I'm just not up for. I don't play with the dead. I'm not even going to go that route. But if you're interested in doing something like that, you can do that. I will also recommend doing a river cruise as well as visiting the French Market. Now, the French Market, I was told not to eat there, but to shop there. New Orleans also have a World War II museum as well as a Katrina museum. Now, to the food. One of the places we visited was a Black-owned restaurant called Weedats. They had great wings as well as a seafood menu. We also ate at Oceana's, located on Bourbon Street. They have great brunch, so definitely check them out if you're in New Orleans. And a reasonably priced menu. This was the inside of my crepe. Isn't it delicious? Another restaurant that we visited was Niao's, which is also Black owned, and a lot of celebrities as well as athletes have dined in this restaurant. So if you listen to rap music, you probably heard Boosie mention cornbread dressing. So it is a mixture between cornbread and gravy. I'm not sure what other ingredient is in here, but this is really good, y'all. So definitely try this. And you can't leave New Orleans without trying a beignet. They come in threes and they're like $4. We also ate at the House of Bourbon as well as Ruby Slippers. So these are two other great restaurants to eat at. Other restaurants that did not make the cut on my trip to New Orleans was Denny's, Drago's, Cafe du Monde, Melba's, Buttermilk Drop, as well as Monroe's. These are all heavily recommended restaurants from locals as well as travel groups. So, to see, be sure to visit the Riverwalk outlets, as well as Jackson Square and the Collapse Hard Rock Cafe and Hotel, which is located on Canal Street. Also, look at some of the statues throughout New Orleans and their history and importance. And last, the famous streetcars of New Orleans. They're located in the French Quarter as well as the business district. Other things to see in New Orleans is the Mississippi River, the Superdome, film locations such as where they film Queen Sugar, Django, what's another show? Vampire Diaries, as well as visit the home of the rich and famous. And you can do this by streetcar. So that's it, y'all. Those are the top things to do, see, as well as eat in New Orleans. If you're going there for your birthday, if you're going there for your anniversary, if you're just going there just to go there. Those are the things that I would recommend and add to my bucket list. If you like this video, please subscribe as well as like the video. I will continue to make videos similar to this anytime I am traveling. Thank you for watching.